the final section, kind of this side yard. So just a couple weeks ago, the Blue Fortune, you could not even see the tree here. It was so tall. But it has bloomed nonstop for 2 months, and it was really spent. And I cut a lot of it back, trying to force a second flush. But also to kind of give some of this stuff in the back a little room to grow and breathe. Which is, I mean, again, I'm not mad. It's pretty. And now you can see I think it's Bespoke Pink. I got that from Select Seeds too. I will definitely get more of that hummingbird mint. It has been gorgeous. It's sort of like a pink version of Blue Boa and Blue Fortune in some ways. The pollinators, I do like it a lot. So, the Rockin' Blue was spectacular in June. And again, the heat came. It has been really hard on this garden because, again, it's been getting more sun progressively as we've moved through the summer. And I've had a lot of heat wilt, so I've had to do a lot of watering, misting. And again, it's a fine line between overwatering and then like not losing your plants, especially when you do container gardening. Again, I probably should have fed these more, but I was scared to do that because they say don't fertilize when it's hot. And again, we've been super hot even for Georgia. In hindsight, I will ignore that advice. I think the liquid fertilizer is fine, especially for containers. The Saturn Suncredibles, they were amazing the first month. And again, just like my other, then just like I don't know what happened. I don't think it's bugs. I think it was the heat, and they probably needed some fertilizer. So, I don't know. I think next year I will grow Suncredibles by themselves in their own container. And even though I've liked how this looked at the first part of the summer, now it's just kind of and I really need to get some like supports for the Blue Fortune. These petunias have come and gone. Sometimes they look good, sometimes they don't. I never had any trouble growing petunias as a child, what I call the old-fashioned, but these modern petunias, y'all, I'm on the struggle bus, and I don't think I'm going to try to do them again. I also would not get these mini coleus. I think some of these were new for this year. I don't hate them, but I don't love them. And then my Cordyline, I should have waited and not bought it as early in the spring as I did. They had much better looking specimens a month later, so I would like to do that again next year. I don't think I want to put it here though. Last year I had it over in my island garden. I think it looked better there. Anyway, some of this Blue Fortunes probably needs to be cut back, but again, I cut so much back. I wanted to leave some for the pollinators because even though it looks pretty spent to me, there's enough there. They're still getting nectar from it. So, here we are. The sun's also been hard on my Japanese maples and the heat. So even though I'm trying to make sure they're watered enough and misted down, again, it's just been pretty rough on them. This is at least in shade part of the day, but it gets afternoon sun. So, yeah. Again, some more Mexican sage. This will be a rock star. Again, you'll see why in another month or so, 6 weeks. Now, this Passel Acoleus, I'm trying to watch out. There was a gigantic praying mantis here earlier. Apparently, Coleus and attracts giant praying mantises, which I do not like them because they're harmful to hummingbirds. But you can see this is in a small planter and it's massive. Now this is that same color blaze velveteen, and you can see it doesn't look as faded out here. I mean, it does have some because this gets a lot of afternoon sun now. But this, I think this is the Coleus lime time. I mean, this has been a nice combo. This is obviously very lush. I would probably do this again. This is some more Black and Bloom salvia. It was spectacular a few weeks ago. It is reloading. I ripped out a David Austin rose and put some autumn fuchsia here. Pugster Pink is doing good. Again, I had some other, you'll see there's some things over there that were here and I've moved them because either the heat was just too brutal here for them, the amount of sun, and or they were kind of blocking sun for some of these things. And this middle section here is definitely going to be another area I'm going to have to rethink for next year. You can't see it, but there's a barrel back there, and it had like, I don't know, pink profusion salvia, which just has never done great for me. Like maybe initially, and then after that, not. So I've got a barrel there I want to get out, and I kind of need to rethink this middle. I probably would maybe bring this butterfly bush up for next year, but we'll see. This was planted not, again, a month, 6 weeks ago. And it's come along. I did just move it here yesterday to get a little bit more sun. Just to see, you know, how this rockin' purple salvia does. I have some super petunias. This one's doing okay, but the other two, dreamsicle, they're oranges. They have not done worth a flip. Maybe I got them too late in the season. I don't know. I like this begonia. Again, I probably should have ordered it earlier. And I'm not sure if it's happy with the amount of sun it's getting. We shall see. But I love the colors. I would definitely do this. This is some more Sedona Sunset Coleus, just like what I had in the planter, but this I actually ordered from Garden Crossings. But the other is what I got on clearance for like $4. I could not believe it in the clearance section at Lowe's. They had a ton of Sedona Sunset Coleus, and I don't know why it didn't sell because I like it, and I will do that again. Now let me show you, and the sun's a little bit bright right now, so I don't know how well you can see this, but let me show you the king and queen of the garden this year. We have red-headed coleus, which I learned about from Justin at S&K Nursery Greenhouse in North Carolina. And then I forget what this is called. This is something I got from Select Seeds, and the name escapes me now, but these I definitely will do again. This, to me, it wasn't called Sedona Sunset, but it sure, you know, looks a lot like it. I don't know if Sedona Sunset actually gets this big. I would like to get some more of this. This is like Captain Smith or something. And grow them side by side next year and just see, you know, kind of compare. But these do sometimes get a little heat wilt, so, you know, I keep an eye on them, mist them, keep them watered. But they're also in pretty shallow containers, but look how big they are. I mean, it's amazing. Again, they are a praying mantis magnet. All my coleus, that's the only drawback I can say about any coleus. Here is the honeybells. Cufia. I think I saw a hummingbird here 1 or 2 times earlier this year. I've not seen them in it since. So, I don't hate it, but I don't like it enough to take up this much real estate next year. I could have put some more rockin' salvia here and all the pollinators would have been just as happy. I've got seed that's probably going to go bad if I don't get it planted in the next couple of months. So I may do a fall planting, and again, right now it's kind of mowed down because I watered a little too hard, but it'll bounce back. These are 2 different varieties of orange cosmos. One's from Vermont Wildflower Company and one's from High Country Gardens. And of course now I don't remember which is which. I also did 2 more pots on my deck. I really didn't think these were going to germinate, but so far here we are. So hopefully, again, the next time I video for you, there'll be some beautiful orange cosmos. I did that year before last and it was stunning. So I need to remember to plant that a little bit sooner next year. I ordered a bunch just for this season, and then I ran out of planters. So I need to make sure I don't have that mistake again. This is some more rockin' pink salvia. This gets more shade. It does get a lot of afternoon sun, but it's in more shade. Now it is in a bigger planter, but it was struggling too. And again, since I have fertilized it 2 weeks in a row, it has definitely bounced back. I feel like rocking pink salvia is a little bit of a challenge between getting the right amount of sun and too much. I mean, it doesn't want to be in full shade, obviously, but it definitely is a little bit of a challenge trying to get the right amount of sun, because this will also get heat wilt. I guess all salvias just about do. We've got some more penstemon I planted here. I was thinking this was going to get more sun than it has this year. We'll see. I mean, I think it'll be fine over the winter, and we'll see. You know, I thought it might coexist nicely with my Miss Ruby butterfly bush, which I probably should have cut back more earlier in the spring. It's also had a little bit of heat. Well, it's kind of in the middle of a cycle. It looked actually really good a week or two ago, and it's kind of struggling. This one is another one. The plant itself, I think I should probably move it to more sun before the summer is over. Maybe even just bring it up to the front. But it gets a lot of sun in the afternoon, but I know butterfly bush does like sun, although some will take some shade. But when it does bloom, it is spectacular. So hopefully it will make it over the winter. I got this at Lowe's, and I love it. Cranberry raz or fizz, something, I don't know. And then you can kind of see the back side, you know, here. This was struggling, but now it seems to be coming on. I don't know if these asters are going to bloom this year. We'll see if they do, and if they don't, if they make it over the winter. This is some more of the chocolate drop coleus. It was a recommended planting. I can see why, but I'm not crazy about it, to go with the hummingbird mint. All right. Another star of the show here. Again, big winner. Red-headed coleus. Oh my gosh, this stuff is so good. And it's a little faded right now because it's been getting more sun in the afternoon. I'll be interested to see what the color looks like in the fall when there's more shade. But this and the dragon wing begonia, holy cow, y'all. I wish now that I had put another planting here on this side, you know, to kind of mirror. So next year I will make sure to do that. Red-headed coleus and dragon wing begonia, for sure a winner down in this area. And I think it'll look nice with Munstead wood, who is trying to thrive in spite of the disgusting heat. I've got a lot of varieties of Joe Pye weed here. I had planted some shade-loving wildflowers, and some of them have germinated, but my bet is it probably won't really show itself until next year. That's kind of been my experience with some wildflower. Something obviously has been chomping on the leaves over here, but the blooms are pretty, and I've been pretty pleased with this so far. So I've seen bees and some butterflies over here. So we'll see how the Joe Pye weed, again, different varieties, we'll see how they perform through the fall. Another cedar snow tree. This one doesn't get quite as much sun, but you can see it's put on a ton of growth. My camellia is putting out new growth. Everybody's doing okay here. This is probably my happiest Japanese maple because it gets the most shade. Smoke bush. Elderberry. And then smoke bush. I just rooted this sweet potato vine, and it seems to be taking off, so we'll see how that does. This was in that front. I moved it because the heat was absolutely frying it. I also moved this hydrangea here to give it a little bit more sun. Again, this has been a fine line between knowing how much to water and not overwatering. These were yellow too, but I've been giving them more water, and now you see there's no yellow. So I'm trying to make sure this one also gets plenty of water without overwatering it. These are both Bobo hydrangeas. This was in one of the pot with the orange chocolate, whatever, begonia, and it was overtaking the pot, so I moved it here. Plus I've got some cuttings I'm trying to root. Sorry, there's a yellow jacket chasing me. My Vanderwolf pine originally, you know, we had moved it over there. It was not happy. Supposedly they take full sun. Well, not in the south, people. So I moved it back here. I do still have some needle drop, but nothing like I did. It is definitely much happier over here in the shady area. Get some sun, but not like full on. Another banana peel lithium, and then, oh my gosh, this I definitely will get again, dipped in wine coleus. Y'all, she is gorgeous. Some more coleus, some minis. I think this is Wicked Witch here. I have mixed feelings about this. Part of me loves it, part of me doesn't. I'm still jury's out. And then this was also in the front, but again, it got to be too much sun. The Roman Red Salvia is reloading, so hopefully we'll get another nice fall flush. I've been trying to cut it back. This conifer is doing great. I've got new growth even now, which has been surprising to me. I've got to get the leader trained up, though, like stat. But I've got enough growth now where I can actually do that. I did not have that a month ago. This was my big Japanese maple, which I see another spider web I need to get. That I had to move. It was just getting fried where it was, so we moved it over here. And it still does get some afternoon sun, but it seems happier over here, and hopefully it's going to be okay. I was actually concerned. It was pretty crispy. And I thought maybe we had waited too late to move it, but hopefully it's going to be okay over here. The Sunshine Ligustrum. Y'all, if you grow it, advice, I water it. It does not get full sun, but I don't think I'm overwatering. But it gets a pretty fair amount of afternoon sun, and it seems like it's struggling with heat wilt too. And I'm ready to give it the heave-ho. It looks great for everybody else. I don't know, maybe it just doesn't like being in a container, or maybe, I don't know. Forever Goldies, all three of my Forever Goldies, knock on wood, are doing great. This is my smallest of the three, but it was small when I got it. My other two were bigger, and they are, knock on wood, thriving. In fact, they're probably going to have to be moved to bigger pots, maybe next year or in the fall. Some more coleus, I forget what it is. This was from Garden Crossings. It's done great. I don't really love this color, so I probably will not do it again, but it's been like a nice fit, a nice filler here for some Jazz Hands or Petalum that just never has done great for me. So this whole thing will probably get cleaned out come, winter. This Pink Viburnum was a rock star in the winter. It looks like it wants to bloom right now, but it doesn't. So I don't know what's going on with it. I have fed it. I don't know. If you grow this, let me know. And then, again, some more Sunshine Ligustrum. I don't think it's meant to be grown in a container. I don't know. It's just not happy. It's not horrible, but it's not great. But I got it because, I liked the lime green. And it's hard, I guess, to capture on camera, but, looking here, this whole lime, is really pretty now, especially with all the wine colors mixed in. I like the wine mixed in with the green. Another crepe myrtle has not bloomed at all. Again, it had a lot of dieback, so I cut it back. Maybe I should not have done that. I need to research that more and do a better job being a crepe myrtle grower. My parents grew them, and I don't remember them being difficult to grow, so I don't know. Maybe I just didn't get good varieties. They all came from Home Depot, too, though, so that might be the problem. They had some at Lowe's a month ago I really wanted to get, but at the time, I just couldn't justify spending the money on them. If they are on clearance, then I may go and get them. I did move this pot over here. What is this called? Gardenia. And it is doing much better here than where I had it. So I think what I would like to do is to put another one of the Let's Dance series hydrangeas here, and then move this up front, and then we'll finish, filling in this bed. We had cut back the bridal's wreath bush, which was not my choice, but it is what it is. So that kind of opened up this area. And then this little tree, this thing was tiny when I got it last year for $9 at Home Depot. It's, to be as small as it was, it's probably doubled in size. So, I'm not going to complain about that. So, it's actually clouded up. I hope we get some rain today. I still have not done my pine straw, and by the time I probably do, the leaves will begin falling. So, yeah, I think we will put some down regardless, even though I know the leaf fall is just a few weeks away, because it does start amazingly soon here in Georgia, and then it gets crazy in October. But just to at least have it look fresh for a while. But honestly, I'm glad we ended up not doing it, because I've moved so many things around. So I think, like, in hindsight now, maybe it's better that I didn't, like I'd planned to do, to refresh all my pine straw. I think until I really, get my vision in place for this garden, I'll probably hold off on pine strawing it too. And then maybe next spring we can start fresh. It seems to be okay. I'm not, knock on wood, having like really a big weed problem, but yeah, we'll probably put a little bit down just for preventative. But it's just hard when you put it down and it gets settled, and then you start moving stuff around with these big pots. So anyhow, but that is the garden. I don't feel like the camera really captures just how pretty everything looks, but overall, I'm pleased. Like I said, July has been a really hard month on this garden and on me, because I've had to get out here and water every day, and it takes about an hour to really water everything in. And sometimes I have to come out and do like a quick second, like, misting of things. When we've had some really bad heat wilt days where there's been like no cloud breaks like what we have right now. We are supposed to cool down a little bit and have some rain later this week. So that would be wonderful if that could happen. But anyhow, thank you for staying with me. I did not intend to talk this long or make 3 videos that are totally now an hour, but I haven't chatted with you in a while. And again, we've moved a lot of things around. This has kind of changed a little bit, but I'm glad that I moved these over here. It really, brought some color and kind of livened this up, and now is making me kind of rethink, like, oh, what do I want to do for next year? Because, we gardeners, we're always looking ahead, right? And I've watched a lot, more videos this year. Again, shout out to Justin of S&K Nursery. His videos are really educational to me. Creekside Nursery. I really have enjoyed Jenny's videos this year. I have learned a bunch from her. So shout out to Jenny and Jerry at Creekside. I've learned a lot from them. Garden Crossings always has great product. And then there's another lady I've been watching out of Pennsylvania, and her name escapes me. But she is like the hydrangea queen, and she's also been very inspiring. So, again, I've been self-educating a whole lot more and trying to expand my horizons. So, as always, the garden is a work in progress, right? So, I think next year, I'm going to be, again, continuing to try some new things, retooling a little bit. There's been a lot of successes this year, but there's some things now I think I will do a little bit differently, or I have a little bit different vision for the garden. But that's how we learn. You don't know until you try, right? So, Coleus for sure. I am officially a Coleus addict, but I've tried a lot of varieties, and I feel like I've got a good sense of what I like and where I want it. So, I'm looking forward to that. I wish they would overwinter here though, because it is not cheap. But, they're really, really low maintenance. Just mainly keep them watered, and, I do give them a little fertilizer here and there. But for the most part, they've done all this on their own. Like, I've really not done hardly anything except water them. So anyway, I'm just sort of babbling now. I hope everybody is staying cool in the heat wherever you're at. This has been a hard summer in many ways. From a lot of different issues. This is kind of where I go to try to get a little joy and peace in these difficult times. And I hope that your garden is giving you joy as well. All right, friends, take care, and we'll chat in a few weeks.